Hey everyone, it is Diaper Perv,
And Baby Donny.
and today we are going to give you the 10 most iconic things that has happened in ABDL history. And it's not in any order, it's not in chronological order or order of importance or impact. The first DPF newsletter.
Oh, the paperback version.
Yes, the paper version. I was going to go find one in the closet, but I'm too lazy to. So DPF, if you don't know, stands for Diaper Pail Fraternity, and then it changed to Diaper Pail Friends. And that started sometime in the 70s.
I didn't realize that the name changed.
Real? Oh.
Yeah, you know more than I do, so I'm getting educated here.
Okay. Yeah, like when it was the site, it changed to Diaper Pail Friends. To, I guess, be more inclusive of not just
Fraternity
guys.
brothers.
Yeah.
It'd be sorority.
Yeah, we didn't have that stuff in Canada, so...
How it took someone to be able to not only come up with this and produce it, but like having the knowledge base or having the courage to actually get it pushed out into the community to where like they're like, hey, there's other of us out here.
Well, there was no community before that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
like, how did they
the
find...
community as in a made up thing that they thought in their mind existed.
Like, how did they even discover each other before that? They would have to write in, like, letters and get it published in other adult magazines.
And then respond to, you know how long that would take?
Yeah, no, I don't. And then people would read it and then be like, whoa, there's another person out there who likes the same thing. And then DPF came, and then, you know, I have a whole video about that, delving into the history and showing some of them.
The link will probably be right below.
Above.
Oh, above, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm dyslexic
Above
sometimes.
and below.
And I'm a baby, so you can't trust me.
And there was that time we looked up, we found Livewire's actual ad in DPF, and then we made fun of it. So another iconic thing that happened was when Bitter Gray made the site understanding.infantilism.org. And I felt like that was the first site that really explained what it is.
Right.
What infantilism is, because that's how I'm used to calling it.
Well, education,
Still.
like you're saying. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily like, this is the fantasy, if you want to write to me and we could meet up and have some fun, that's one thing. But to actually break it down and say, look, there are reasonings behind everything, and this is not something you need to be afraid of. This is something that you need to embrace and accept in yourself, and there's nothing wrong.
And it was a helpful guide for like spouses and partners and parents. of
Potential
people.
partners
Yeah.
too. You know, because I guarantee that I have sent that link to quite a few potential people to be like, hey, look, I'll break it down, but look at this and read it. Because if you're not down with it, then you're cute, but
Yeah.
we can't really kick it.
And then after that, of course, like the gay counterpart to that one is Chris's yabdl.org.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was probably, dare I say, late 90s? Or is that early 2000s?
I don't know. I know
We
Bitter
didn't
Grays.
research that one.
No, Bitter Grays came out in 1995.
Okay. Well, either way, this mishmash of people that are accepting themselves and finding themselves and sharing it with others is cool, because I've seen it in mainstream, like, hustler magazines is you know, my experience too. But it was more lesbian thing, where it was like Hustler Taboo, and it was like Mommy Girl or something, but still they had the diapers, they had her wedding and getting spanked in a crib.
No,
Yeah.
I had no idea. Like, that's incredible that something that mainstream was depicting ABDLs. And what year was this?
That's probably early 2000s, or early 2000s, I would say.
In 1973, a very iconic feature film came out. I don't know if this was ever in the theaters and not just on
Straight to
VH.
VHS.
Yeah, but it's the movie The Baby. It was such a slow movie. I was so bored watching it. I'm sorry.
I mean, granted, it was supposed to be a horror movie, so I get...
It was so slow. So, other horror movies are a lot faster.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're being the captive man as an adult baby, and as we all know, the government runs slow, so I mean, social worker that comes in to try to steal you away, that's going to take at least about 3 years.
I felt like there wasn't enough torture in that movie.
Well,
if it was a
same.
horror movie, because that is the genre it's classified under. It's like it's just too boring. There should have been more like training him.
That would be
stuff.
hot. Yeah,
Yeah.
So ideas that we're going to be making a movie, I guess, somehow. But yeah, until then.
So another iconic moment in ABDL history is the first DPF meetup. And I don't know when that would have been. But I know that would have changed the game for everything. You know what I mean?
True.
And there's actually a YouTube video I found of a meetup in San Francisco that they had. Like, I think it looked like the early 80s. Yeah.
So they had shoulder pads. Kidding. They did Vogue.
Well, no, it was like summer. It was hot, so they did.
So it was
people
like
were just wearing like
mesh
t-shirts,
shirts, and
yeah,
mustaches,
yeah.
Hall Notes. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I need to find that and like make sure it's preserved.
That
somehow.
link will probably be up on top too.
Bottom. No, it would be
I mean,
bottom.
oh yeah.
So another very iconic thing that shaped ABDL and people's understanding is ABDL depictions in the early cartoons.
It's like forced.
What?
It's like more forced a lot of the times. Like
right, yeah, like
forced
the
adult
characters
baby,
in
forced diapering, forced bottle feeding.
Yeah. So Tom and Jerry, they definitely had some. Donald Duck, right? They had that.
Quack, quack.
Okay, what is that?
There's like an automated like nurse like machine that was like spanked him and like did all this other baby stuff, diapered him.
Oh, and changed him and stuff. It was like this robot arm that came down, right?
From
and
like
just like plucked him.
What are those things called? Like a little carriage. It was like a little pink carriage, I think. And
Like a pram?
and like the arms came out and they're like, it was cute. Either way, it was a power exchange ultimately, and I wonder who wrote that because they probably wrote a few different.
I wonder if it's the same writer that was working on the different
If
cartoons.
someone goes deep into that, let us know because that would be that'd be really amazing.
And the Flintstones, that was.
I didn't know about
really
that
good.
one.
Yeah.
You said that.
Yeah, there was a witch, and then they like hypnotized someone, and then turned one of the characters back into a baby. I don't know if it was Barney or Fred.
Either way,
but they
it
just
was
turned
a
into
grown
baby.
man. That's hot.
Yeah.
You're like boners on that. And I was telling you about Ren and Stimpy too.
Oh yeah, I never saw that one.
Yeah, there was. I mean, in the '90s, that was a little bit later, but that's something I remember of like, they have the fingers of like whoever they're not showing of that character, like, oh, mommy wants a poopy. Oh no, don't.
What?
Yeah, it was like I won't tell daddy this time, but you better make a poopy. It was like really like crazy animation, but like I'm sure y'all look it up. I guarantee you'll find it. But there's many things. I mean, granted, Care Bears even. They had Hugs and Tugs, the little Care Bears that had diapers on.
Another super iconic moment is Phil Donahue's Adult Baby episode. That came out in 1991. And Jerry Springer's came out in 1992, almost a full year after that. So Phil Donahue did it first. He's a more serious journalist.
That's
right?
what I said, yeah, exactly.
So I remember I was just watching this last night, how serious it was and how concerned the audience
was. They're like, oh
yes,
no.
Yeah.
Save their soul. Honey.
Yeah.
They have something wrong. And
Yeah.
then let alone all of them are doing weird stuff in their own bedrooms.
Oh, probably. Like, I hate this act that you have to do in public where, like, other people will bring up weird stuff and you have to act appalled and be like, oh my goodness, what is this world coming to? Stop it. Oh, man. But, I mean,
Phil Donahue, though, they had a more, like, perspective of, like, why are you acting this way?
Yes.
And
yeah.
how do you, like, it was just trying to learn. It wasn't making
No.
fun of. Like, Jerry Springer is more like throwing chairs at people
Yes.
and getting shock and awe.
Yes.
Donahue, granted, I mean, like, this all daytime TV, but, you know, I think had a little bit more of like a wanting to understand
Yes.
mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Another very iconic moment that changed the course of everything, this one's so important, is when Classy Comforts came out in 2006. I don't know if Bambino was in business at that time, but Classy Comforts had the
We tried
print.
research on it.
We did.
But we weren't able to find exactly who was the exactly first of it. But I remember, like, I was telling Diaper that I was in the military at the time. I remember ordering Classy Comfort diapers and getting them shipped to my barracks. And then, like, you know, maybe, like, using some of them. And then, like, I would get so scared because I was ashamed at the time.
Yeah.
I'd throw everything away in the trash. Like, no.
Oh.
It's not me. But, like, I remember those distinctively, like, the little bears with, like, the lines going vertically across and then they change
Yeah.
colors. And, like, that was
good technology back then.
I mean, I don't know where their distributor is, but either way, that was the first that I remember. And definitely is. I haven't seen them since, though. I'm sure that they're probably not. I don't know. You could look them up too.
Right, and that print hasn't been replicated by anyone else. So how did you first find out, like, how and where to order them?
The internet, of course, but I think it's just Googling adult diapers, something. I don't know if it was quotation marks or not. On it probably wasn't even Google at the time. It was probably Ask Jeeves or like something like that. You know, like
Alta Vista,
exactly.
Netscape Navigator.
Yeah, Firefox. I decided that my hard-earned money from the military should be, you know, spent on something that makes me happy, and so I
Yeah.
decided to order, you know, packs or maybe even a case, depending on if I had my own barracks room or not. And
Right.
it was definitely so nice to be able to have like something that made you feel little. And
Yeah. Did you ever get caught?
No,
Okay.
luckily. I mean, at least I don't know if I have. Or, like, been scared of is like I've used like a roommate's computer to like
Right.
look up stuff, and then like once he got back on the computer, like a bunch of like software ads popped up of like, oh no, you're in a dirty diaper now, like blah, 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 or whatever it was. I don't think it was necessarily that, but it was like something along the lines of like age play or like even sissy play. To where
Wow.
it was like he's like, what's, and I'm like, oh man, like I don't know, what, you have a virus or something, like.
Oh, that's funny.
2000 CSI, Las Vegas, 2005.
King
That's-
Baby.
Yeah.
King Baby.
I remember that distinctively. I don't know where I didn't watch the show, but I found like the link of, oh my gosh, check this out online type of thing online. And then I checked it out and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actual production on NBC or wherever it was. Like, and you know, granted, there's other things that are involved in it, but the main focus was him jumping to his doom off the balcony, but still dressed as a total baby. And,
Right, and he had a full nursery that was hidden.
Yeah.
And he was a lawyer, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he
Good
was
memory.
yeah, and that was important because it depicted like regular people with good careers,
True.
you know, that might
Like your neighbor.
yeah. It could be your neighbor, it could be your actual lawyer or actual professional that's getting you out of jail.
Damn, my defense attorney.
And in that episode, they also had like an adult baby store, and it showed diversity in the store.
That's cool. I don't know. Wow, we're gonna have to research that, folks.
We're
Or
gonna have to
I'm gonna have to
watch
research
it.
that. Yeah,
we
we have to
can watch it after that.
We're gonna watch it after that. But yeah, I don't remember that part. But I do remember this being a big point in my life to be like, this is happening in regular vanilla
Media. Yeah. And they're not saying that he's like a total freak or anything.
Or that
He
he's
had, like, a
mentally
Yes.
disabled. Or,
Yes.
He's an attorney, for God's sake.
Yeah.
But then the guy that like they represent, they're like, he was a total idiot. I don't know. Like, of course he's a baby. Anyways, but
Anyway.
that was a crazy episode, and it was
Yeah.
cool to be able to see like how the characters reacted to this, being like, Well, I don't think they even shamed it, really.
No, I felt like they didn't that much.
I mean,
at
there's a
all.
representation alone that is somewhat private, so it has to
Yeah.
be somewhat shameful, but...
Yeah.
And if you jump off a balcony as a baby and die, then, yeah, that's probably something that's going to get brought up.
Nowadays, I see like diaper lovers being talked about a lot more, in Bob's Burgers and
True.
in the other cartoon,
Well, yeah, I mean, there's like...
American Dad.
Yeah, true.
Where they just say,
It's the
"Oh,
same
yeah."
writer, watch.
Oh,
He's just old now.
Stop! It's the same writer from the Tom and Jerry. He's just like, well,
He's like, I'm still here, bitches.
they are all animated. We haven't. Oh no, we did talk about events. So here's another event. The first Abdulia.
Ooh, I remember reading about that and being like, I want to be invited.
Yeah.
Or like, this is something that's people are meeting in person and having, camping weekend or week-long events or however
Yeah.
long. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it was important for several reasons. One of them because it was organized by women.
Good.
And number two, because it was like the younger set.
Right, like
Of-
35 under type of thing.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think they were pretty young when they started organizing it, like the organizers. And not that the video I saw of like the DPF meetup, everyone was old. They were probably like in their 30s and up. But this was for like people under like 28, like 18
Good. Well,
to
good for you.
28.
If you could find that point in your life where you could say,
And-
accept this.
Yeah. And that's so
Good on
cool,
you.
like to be at that age and be like, wow, I'm gonna see if there's other people my age
Yeah.
and meet them and organize an event, and the event got bigger and bigger.
Well, and it also motivates people too. Like we were talking
Yeah.
about Capcom.
Yeah,
Like either the people like build off that too. We're like, oh my gosh, this is possible.
it's possible.
Let's build a bigger one. Let's
Yeah.
make a whole hotel and have a bunch of adult babies. Like,
Right, and it didn't start like that, and that's actually number 10, a very iconic thing that happened for ABDLs is Capcom number 10 in 2020.
That's why it's number 10.
Yes, it is. Like the fact that people can be gathering yearly to a number of like 1,300 and reach number 10. I mean, obviously there's been more now,
Right.
but the 10 was huge. It was a big freaking deal. And it was right before COVID happened.
Well,
Like
that's
a week
great that
before
it still
COVID
keep going too.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
just proves how impressive it is.
Yeah.
That the one even before COVID, number 10, was so ingrained in people's minds that they're like, I need to go back. We need to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Like, this is important for others, not only just our own mental health. So
right.
that's-
Yeah, and it's not going to stop.
Of course.
Now there's so many conventions.
Which is great. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's a beautiful thing to be able to accept yourself and love yourself and be able to explore these sort of dynamics. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's impressive, and then having all the classes, not only like how-to classes of like how to do this, how to do that, but relationship classes of like how to ingrain your ABDL life into real life, but doing it in a discreet way to where the partners or whoever's in it knows.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Right. Oh my goodness. So today I was in like a medical facility, and I picked up a magazine, it's a local magazine, and on the cover they had like a headline about furries.
What?
So here it is. It's the Desert Companion, and it is a magazine about Nevada life and Las Vegas. And right there we go. Isn't that amazing? And it's an entire article covering furries and the Las Vegas Fur Con that happened last year.
That's
and
cool.
there was nothing negative about the article at all. It
It
just,
has a good representation, and
Yeah.
it's written well.
it is. And yeah.
But we're also in Las Vegas too, so that's the reason why I said like you're not gonna find this in like your hometown of Dayton, Ohio, or something like that. But it's great
But-
to have it.
But
you
I
know?
feel like furry conventions happen in like every major city
Yeah.
at this point. Like, it's such a big subculture.
True, and like I said, it transfers into the ABDL culture as well, because a lot of furries do like to be baby furries or wear diapers.
Yeah, and even at Sin City, that one where I volunteered. Oh, what does it say? Sin City Murcon. They had a couple of age play classes there.
Really? Wow.
And there's a whole convention for baby furs, Baby FurCon in not San Jose, Santa Cruz.
Oh, the slugs! Yay, go slugs!
Anyways, thank you for joining us on this fun trip.
Yeah, thanks for hearing me rant and just talk. And it keeps me in line.
I know it's going to be a lot of editing.
Bye.
Bye.